93, 93, 93. This is Aman Asha Renew from AshaRenew.com. Back in here once again. Letting everybody know what's going on with these current events. So on this particular segment, we will be speaking about what is going on currently in Kentucky. And I have the article as well, so let me go ahead and pull this up, which is here. So if we take a look at the article, it says dozens dead in U.S. flood. And they are saying that the search for missing people may last or could last for many weeks. Now, if we give a little context here, devastating rains has swept through the heart of the U.S. Appalachian region, have caused record flooding in eastern Kentucky, killing at least 25 people and leaving many more potential victims missing. Let me go ahead and turn this background music down a little bit. It may be a little too loud. Give me 1 second here. It may be a little too loud. Okay. Now, what makes this interesting is this is the same Kentucky that just got hit with all of those tornadoes just last year, and I also reported on that as well. And at the time when those tornadoes were going through Kentucky, I also said that this is the rising of karmic energy. Now, this situation is no different. And the reason I know this is just yesterday, Saturday, I just reported that Jupiter went into retrograde Friday, which was the 29th. And Jupiter, once again, does not only rule Sagittarius, it also rules Pisces, which represents the karmic forces, the outpouring of karmic forces. So the fact that we have the same state dealing with all these karmic forces, this is how you know. And I also said when those hurricanes were occurring, I asked the spirit, was this the ancestors on revenge mode, or is this just, things happen? Very unusual things happen. I am coming to the same conclusion, basically. There is no coincidence that certain places have these strange occurrences that last literally years. Because just like the tornado that hit, those people, it's going to take years for that particular city to recover. Just like they're saying, this is going to take quite some time. They actually, in the article, they said this may take up to years for the people to recover. Let me actually find where it says that in the article, because I just read through this. Somewhere in this article it says this is going to take potentially years to fix. So let me see if I can find where that said, where the article says this. So it says the region was inundated with 8 to 10.5 inches of rain in a 24-hour period between Thursday and Friday. So we know astrologically that the only thing that occurred between Thursday and Friday in terms of the planetary energies and the constellations was that Jupiter retrograde, which triggered the energy of Pisces because Jupiter was in the 10th house and the 10th house was ruled by Pisces. So not only does Jupiter rule over Pisces, Jupiter had an extra influence because it was in the 10th house and the 10th house was ruled by Pisces. So when we have the mathematical evidence to back up what's going on here, we don't have to go into the deep end and go into all this unnecessary energy. But once again, let me find out where it says this could take potentially years for these people to recover. Here it is right here. The damage in Kentucky is so severe that it may take years for the communities to rebuild. And this is coming from the governor. And as I was just saying, just last year, they were struck by tornadoes that killed 70 people. So what we are seeing is somehow, whenever Pisces is released, whenever Pisces is stimulated, for whatever reason, Kentucky is getting struck very hard, harder than most other states and cities are getting hit, because this is going beyond just a tornado or just a flood, because we know floodings happen pretty much yearly. Like every year there's some city that deals with flooding, especially the coastal cities, like a Houston, cities that are closer to the bodies of water or great bodies of water. So let me go back up to the beginning of the article here. All right. Let me go a little bit more. There we go. So once again, I'm not going to do a deep analysis on this because we pretty much have already did that. Just watch my Jupiter retrograde video and that's going to tell you everything you need to know. This is just the aftermath. Now that we understand the mathematical components, now we're looking at the aftermath as to what's going to occur and why these things are occurring. And this is because, once again, in the U.S., we are making a lot of bad moves, whether it be the Ukrainian conflict, what happened in the Middle East and Afghanistan. Also, us trying to provoke China, and I'm going to speak about that in another video. I'm going to do a couple videos tonight because I don't want to just put everything into one video because, again, everybody may not be interested in every single article. So I'm just going to separate the video. So depending on what people want to watch, then they just click on what they want to see. But here is just evidence in terms of now we understand that these are retrograde karmic energies coming through. And we're going to continue to see more and more of this. And this is why I said 25 plus, because everybody who's dead has not been accounted for, because there are many, many people missing. So eventually, once the weeks pass, that death count will continue to increase. So I'm just bringing this to everybody's awareness that now that we are dealing with this retrograde energy, which will last till Sagittarius season, and we are currently in Leo season, so we got quite some time. We're going to continue to see more and more of this because we are dealing with a lot of retrograde energy. And what I mean by a lot of retrograde energy is we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4 planets that are retrograde. Also, Neptune is retrograde, and Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Now let me see actually, when did Neptune go retrograde? Neptune has been retrograde since June 28th, so about a little over a month now. So for the last 30 days, Neptune has been retrograde and Jupiter just recently became activated. So now we have a double negative. Now we have two planets, Jupiter and Neptune, both in retrograde, stimulating the karmic forces of Pisces. And this is the result. And we're going to continue to see more of these things. So once again, I'm just bringing this to everyone's awareness. If you have not been keeping up with the current events, or you may have seen this, but now I'm tying in the astrology so that we can have a grander understanding of these things. So I'm going to go on to the next video because, you know, we have a lot to talk about, and I'm just going to keep the video separate. So I'll get back at y'all very soon. 93, 93, 93.